Mark Twain Selected Works. My First Lie and How I Got Out of It. Part 2. December 10th, 1899. 2 hours later at dinner, when quite other matters were being discussed, he told how he happened along once just in the nick of time to do a great service for a family who were old friends of his. The head of it had suddenly died in circumstances and surroundings of a ruinously disgraceful character. If known, the facts would break the hearts of the innocent family and put upon them a load of unendurable shame. There was no help but in a giant lie, and he girded up his loins and told it. The family never found out, G? Never. In all these years they have never suspected. They were proud of him and always had reason to be. They are proud of him yet, and to them his memory is sacred and stainless and beautiful. They had a narrow escape, G. Indeed they had. For the very next man that came along might have been one of those heartless and shameless truth-mongers. You have told the truth 1,000,000 times in your life, G, but that one golden lie atones for it all. Persevere. Some may think me not strict enough in my morals, but that position is hardly tenable. There are many kinds of lying which I do not approve. I do not like an injurious lie except when it injures somebody else. And I do not like the lie of bravado, nor the lie of virtuous ecstasy. The latter was affected by Bryant, the former by Carlyle. Mr. Bryant said, "Truth crushed to earth will rise again." I have taken medals at 13 World's Fairs and may claim to be not without capacity, but I never told as big a one as that. Mr. Bryant was playing to the gallery. We all do it. Carlyle said in substance this. I do not remember the exact words. "This gospel is eternal, that a lie shall not live." I have a reverent affection for Carlyle's books and have read his Revolution 8 times, and so I prefer to think he was not entirely at himself when he told that one. To me it is plain that he said it in a moment of excitement when chasing Americans out of his backyard with brickbats. They used to go there and worship. At bottom he was probably fond of them, but he was always able to conceal it. He kept bricks for them, but he was not a good shot. And it is matter of history that when he fired they dodged and carried off the brick. For as a nation we like relics, and so long as we get them we do not much care what the reliquary thinks about it. I am quite sure that when he told that large one about a lie not being able to live, he had just missed an American and was overexcited. He told it about 30 years ago, but it is alive yet, alive and very healthy and hearty, and likely to outlive any fact in history. Carlyle was truthful when calm. But give him Americans enough and bricks enough, and he could have taken medals himself. As regards that time that George Washington told the truth, a word must be said, of course. It is the principal jewel in the crown of America, and it is but natural that we should work it for all it is worth, as Milton says in his Lay of the Last Minstrel. It was a timely and judicious truth, and I should have told it myself in the circumstances. But I should have stopped there. It was a stately truth, a lofty truth, a tower. And I think it was a mistake to go on and distract attention from its sublimity by building another tower alongside of it 14 times as high. I refer to his remark that he could not lie. I should have fed that to the Marines, or left it to Carlyle. It is just in his style. It would have taken a medal at any European fair and would have got an honorable mention even at Chicago, if it had been saved up. But let it pass. The father of his country was excited. I have been in those circumstances, and I recollect. With the truth he told, I have no objection to offer, as already indicated. I think it was not premeditated, but an inspiration. With his fine military mind, he had probably arranged to let his brother Edward in for the cherry tree results, but by an inspiration he saw his opportunity in time and took advantage of it. By telling the truth, he could astonish his father. His father would tell the neighbors would spread it. It would travel to all firesides. In the end, it would make him president, and not only that, but first president. He was a far-seeing boy and would be likely to think of these things. Therefore, to my mind, he stands justified for what he did. But not for the other tower. It was a mistake. Still, I don't know about that. Upon reflection, I think perhaps it wasn't. For indeed, it is that tower that makes the other one live. If he hadn't said, "I cannot tell a lie," there would have been no convulsion. That was the earthquake that rocked the planet. That is the kind of statement that lives forever, and a fact barnacled to it has a good chance to share its immortality. To sum up, on the whole, I am satisfied with things the way they are. There is a prejudice against the spoken lie, but none against any other. And by examination and mathematical computation, I find that the proportion of the spoken lie to the other varieties is as 1 to 22,894. Therefore, the spoken lie is of no consequence, and it is not worthwhile to go around fussing about it and trying to make believe that it is an important matter. The silent, colossal national lie that is the support and confederate of all the tyrannies and shams and inequalities and unfairnesses that afflict the peoples, that is the one to throw bricks and sermons at. But let us be judicious and let somebody else begin. And then, but I have wandered from my text. How did I get out of my second lie? I think I got out with honor, but I cannot be sure, for it was a long time ago, and some of the details have faded out of my memory. I recollect that I was reversed and stretched across someone's knee, and that something happened, but I cannot now remember what it was. I think there was music, but it is all dim now and blurred by the lapse of time, and this may be only a senile fancy.